Hey, hey. How are we doing, everyone? I couldn't sleep, so I went for a drive. I just watched Empire of the Sun, the 1987 Spielberg movie, with the young Christian Bale. Little guy made it through a little bit of it, and he fell asleep. Oh, it's got John Malkovich in it, too. Hey, another like. Think that can happen? $10 likes or $10, whatever comes first. I hit it 10 times. Right on, right on. Teresa, didn't see you. I just was looking at. How are you? Halloween story from when I was a kid. Let's see. Well, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a punk rocker, so I dressed up, had my Levi jacket, and had the garden gloves, the brown garden gloves. They were like potato picking gloves, but I'd always cut holes out of them, so I had these fingerless gloves. And one year, a friend's mom had like hairspray and or gel and hair paint, and I got to have my hair like spiked up and colored. Done that at school. It's not anything my parents would have let me like buy at a store. We lived way out in the country, so it wasn't like I could run down and grab that. One year we all dressed as, when I was really young, we all dressed as ghosts. That was probably the best coordinated that my mom ever helped out with. Painted our faces, and we had like she actually put some effort into it. Like my boys always had a costume for Halloween. So I'm like, I just never. And they didn't have the trunk or treat, so. And like I said, we lived way out. The community was sparse. There really wasn't. You had the school, and then there was kind of a little teeny part of a town, but the rest of it was farm. So it was. I mean, the closest real town was 30 miles away, and then another 45 miles. And the rest of it was just farmland or desert. And so if we went trick or treating, usually there was a carnival at the school, so you went, or you stayed after school, or you came back that whatever day they had it. Usually Halloween, or if Halloween was on a weekend, then it was like Friday. And they had Spook Alley, Cakewalk, just all kinds of fun stuff. Hey, how are you? And don't forget to like. We're going for 10 likes or $10 in donations. That's our goal. Anyway, so we would go to that. Those were awesome. And then after that, then we'd go. My mom would take us trick-or-treating around, but it was like 4 or 5 houses. Like I always wanted, and then kids would come to school, and whoever, if they had nice parents, they'd gone all over the place and had a whole big sack full of candy. Usually we just had a very little bit of candy because we didn't go to very many houses. So, but those are my Halloween memories. Now they have like trunk or treat, and my kid gets so much candy, it's ridiculous. I don't know where he'll go this year because we're new in town. I'm trying to think. Halloween as a teenager. I never went to the big haunted places. Kind of wish I would. I'm getting kind of old for that. Like, I don't think I'd enjoy it. Like, I don't mind a good thriller movie and get like startled, but like to actually go in them spook alleys and be horrified. They have one that's way out in the part of the state. It's the old uh, deaf school in Albion, and and there's like different buildings, and they have like 3 degrees of scariness. But it's about halfway between here and where we used to live, and we moved 3 hours across the state. So it's down at the bottom of the state, and it's off the highway, like got a good 45 minutes off the freeway. So it's like from where we lived, it was like 2 hours to go to it, and it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But they've done it for all over a decade, and I know my stepdaughter has gone to it a bunch. She likes to go to it. My wife took them once, so she won't go in. She just sat there. So they had one that was out in the woods close to where I grew up. They took you on I think it was pulled by something. I don't think it was horses. Maybe it was. Can't imagine it was horses though. Pulled you on some kind of had straw bales on it, kind of like you do it a pumpkin patch or something. But anyway, and then you have people jump out and scare you. This is just what I heard from people. I never went to it. Problem in high school, I was really finding the time because I played football. So by the time football practice was over, then you had homework, and Friday nights I was at a game, of course, and then Saturday was my dad always had some kind of farm chore for me to do. So, and then on a Sunday drive, we'd drive past them on the way to either set of my grandparents, and I'd be like, oh, I want to go to that, but it didn't work out. So I guess in another life I would have gone to it. But in my last life, I showed my wife bought me a Snoopy Halloween shirt. Just has Snoopy in Woodstock with Boo on it. I've had it for about 2 weeks. I've wore it quite a few times. I like it. But told my Snoopy story last time. Miss Southern Belle ought to remember that. So I'm a Peanuts fan, especially Snoopy. So, let's talk about my channel here. I have 140, last I looked on the analytics, 140 views left to meet the milestone of 40,000 views. So, if you could watch a couple of my videos, leave a decent comment, that'd be great. And then I'm going to do a live with celebrating that as soon as I reach that milestone. Yipper yipper. Growing and glowing, that's what we're trying to do. What was my favorite subject in school? That's cool that your mom liked Snoopy. Or the Peanuts. God, probably as a like elementary school, it was recess. It was not a. I think I really struggled with reading, so it really sucked. Though I liked the idea of writing, like third grade. I remember Mrs. Hawker. We had to make a story, and she's like my favorite teacher of all time. Junior high, I'd probably go with math because our school was small, so like in my grade there was a small school, so it was probably 60, 70 kids, and there was two. It was divided into two classes, and our math teacher at the beginning said, "I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys are in the bottom group. The other group, and they'll go on and they'll go straight into algebra." We're like, it's pre-algebra, and you guys are destined for to take remedial math when you get to high school, but if you want to work with me, and we'll work at this, and you can come in before class, before school, and stay after school, and I'm here for you till you get it. And I stayed after many times, and like I said, we lived 7 miles from the school, so I remember quite a few times having trouble, so I stayed after and then having no ride home. And I was the oldest child, so I didn't have an older sibling or any way to get home, and this was before cell phones, so I'd either try to use the phone or a pay phone at the school, or I'd walk it was probably a half mile to the only convenience store, Country Cash, I think it was, and she let me use their phone, and I'd call my mom, and she couldn't always come right away, so sometimes I couldn't get a hold of her, so it kind of got to be a thing, and the Mrs. Buck started letting me stock the shelves for a pop and a candy bar, and a couple quarters to go play. They had a pool table in the basement with some video games, and I got to go play pool a couple times. My favorite beverage, Coke Zero. But my favorite subject in college was English, poetry. Poetry's my jam. Anything poetry. Uh-oh. Questions did I miss? Had a couple. That one that I wore the first day of school and then never wore it again. My mom still has it. It's, remember the drawer it was in. I don't know where she has it now. I should get it and like frame it or something. When I was in like 5th, 6th grade, and it fit me till I wore it into 7th grade. It was a Hobie shirt, and it had a hand print on it. They did a lot of skateboard stuff. I always wanted to. I liked the skateboarders. I thought it was cool, but could never ride any. I again lived out in the country, and our driveway was ground up cinder rocks. Did have a concrete slanted pad that went into the garages, but never rode much skateboarding. But anyway, I kind of like that, and that was like the one cool shirt that I had. Didn't have too many cool shirts. My wife makes sure that my boy has plenty of cool factor. Sure, you give us a thumbs up. I saw somebody was in. I have more favorite sock stories and favorite hats, favorite cufflinks than like a favorite shirt, favorite coat. I did. Oh, so I'm in a wrestling family. My uncle, I remember going and watching him when he's like 11, 12 years older than me. And I remember going when I was a little kid to he was a 3-time state champ, and I remember going to the senior year, and he got us, me and my brother, the state wrestling T-shirt. They always have one, a state wrestling T-shirt, and he bought one for me and my brother. Mine was red and my brother's was blue. And I remember wearing that forever. Loved that. Had some kind of chicken man on that, like looked like he was a chicken man in a wrestling pose with the state of Idaho. I remember loving it because he'd given it to us, and I remember going to quite a few of his college matches. I remember wearing that shirt when I went to his college matches, and just loving that. So I do remember that shirt. Favorite pair of shoes? I did have a pair of white sneakers when I was in 6th grade that I loved, and I wanted the first Air Jordan. Well, I don't think they're the first Air Jordans, but I remember a couple of the kids that had them. I was like, wow, why can't I be cool like them? And then when I was a sophomore, I got a pair of Jordans for Christmas. I still have them. In the box and everything. I got a couple of dress shoes that I'm pretty fond of. My wedding shoes, I was attached to them because I got married in them, but I've been really disappointed. I hadn't worn them forever, and then started going to church again with my wife and kid, and they split. I don't even know if, it's a different kind of sole. I don't even know if I can resole them, take them to a place and get them resoled, but reached my first membership. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'll have to do something for members only. Right on. I can't even tell what stickers I have. You're the best. And we'll have to do a membership only reading of something. I got, like I was saying, my favorite thing is poetry, and I got a bunch of new poetry books that I've been wanting to get forever, and I bought them. They're Russian poets, 2 women poets. Have to open those books and read a couple poems for a members only time. More stories? Okay, but I didn't tell the favorite socks. I had a couple I will work on that. I'll get some more stickers. I don't know how. I'll have to find. I'll have to search that how to make some for sure. The I had some in high school that had. They're like. So I wrestled and played football in the '90s, early '90s. But like I had my uncles like played in the '70s and stuff, and then I think they were just in the. I don't know. I think I got them in the locker room or something. I mean, they were clean. I washed them and everything, but they were like tube high up and with the school colors. So I don't know if they issued them to them or whatever. I had those. I just liked them because they were like retro. So and then I had a pair dress socks. I still have them. They're funny when I have a young kid that's like when I was when I was in leadership and a manager. When I worked at a couple places, I always remember I've got socks that are older than you. And those would be that would be the pair of socks I always thought about. These Argyle socks that I had or have. I don't wear them off only on a special occasion, and I wore them quite a bit when I first had them. But then I had a pair of socks, and they were actually my sister's socks, but they were comfortable. That's why I like to wear them, and I wore them and darned them a couple of. Well, I had my mother darn them until I don't know if I still have them. I think I lost one, and I only have one left, and I can't pack rat to my wife's chagrin. I can't part with it. I probably just part with it if it's not mated, and if it's mated, I probably should just get rid of those. And then as far as cufflinks go, my dad had a pair when I was a kid that's a bulldozer, and I thought he died. It's going to be 10 years this October, and a couple years ago I asked my mom if she knew where they were at, and looked in his drawer of stuff, and we couldn't find them, and so I went on eBay and I found the exact pair that he had. And these came with a tie clip too of the bulldozer, so it was cool. I bought them. I like those because it reminds me my dad had them. But my favorite, I have a D, Detroit Tigers with their Old English D, and those are my go-to that I'll wear that I've worn to job interviews and stuff and special occasions. My wife's given me a couple pair that I like. I did a banana break not too long ago from one of my interviews. It's banana cufflinks, and my boy gave me Chewbacca ones, Star Wars cufflinks. Those are pretty cool. Hello, hello, hello. And my hat, of course. Make sure you give a thumbs up. Trying to get to 10 likes or $10 was what I said, but no worries, no pressures. Favorite hat. So never really had any baseball hats. Like, I did have some, but not like the size fitted. They were adjustable ones, so I didn't have the like official ones. And first got married, my wife got me one, and it just became my hat. Like, it's comfortable, and it got so dirty, and I've washed it a zillion times, but my wife was like tired of the hat, so she's bought me a whole bunch to the point where won't buy me anymore because I continue to wear that one. Though she bought me one I wear quite often that's it's like is it called a derby hat? And it's a Levi brand, actually, and it fits really good, and I wear it quite a bit because I like the way it fits. But the problem with wearing baseball hats now is my hair's so long it doesn't work out. I really like wearing the and hopefully I passed the physical and the background check, and I'll pass the drug test. I'm not worried about that. Well, I'm not really worried about the background or the physical either. And they gave me the job offer, so I just got to go through those hoops and to work at the cheese plant here as a forklift driver on the third shift overnight. So I'm thinking I'll be cutting my hair because I don't know that I can take it, but maybe I'll be able to. I've been growing the beard too long to want to cut it. Somebody commented in my last video, Santa Claus. I was like, yeah. What other story do you want? Hey, we got another like. Hey, Kenneth, how are you? Make sure you give us a thumbs up. We're trying to get to 10. We're trying to get to 10. We're up late counting. Counting what? I don't know. Sheep was never very good. My uncle was sheep herder. And I went a couple times. Their one boy, they only had one boy, and he was my age, Brian. It was his sister, 2 years older than us. And then Brian, and he's a couple months older than me, and then me. We're the three oldest grandchildren on that side. So pretty close. It was my mom's side of the family, and always pretty close. And a couple of times I went when they were having when they were lambing. Went a couple times when they sheared. Went a couple times when they were when they put the dip them with so they don't get ticks, and then put them out into pasture. Have I ever played Santa? Yes. Worked at Walmart for almost 15 years, and I played Santa quite a few Christmases, probably 5. And then a coworker from there, she'd have Santa come on their Christmas Eve party and give presents to all the little kids. And it wasn't just her like grandkids, it was like her great nieces and nephew. Just it was like a big family thing. And some years it was really big, be like 20, 30 kids, and there was a couple times it was just 7 or 8. And she had the suit, and it was like a half hour worth of work, and she'd have the bag there, and I'd bring the bag in and give the presents to the kids, and they'd sit on my lap and tell me what they wanted for Christmas, and she paid me $50 to do that. So it was good stuff. Hers was a good suit. The Walmart suit was like the belt was just cheap, and the gloves would get really dirty quick, and it was it was fun. The first several years it was stationary to sit there, and they had a camera set up, and then as technology evolved, it was, and I think also liability wise, I think I'd heard some incidents where like Santa got hurt because Walmart, Walmart employees, so they have to pay for that accident. Got hurt lifting a kid up their back, so plus the just inappropriateness that runs rampant in society anymore. To protect themselves, they went to where Santa just walked around and had a helper that would offer to take selfies, but they didn't have you could just take a selfie with Santa. And so I didn't have to, I could just stand there, and I still had to hold the like little babies, but which was fine, but I didn't have to, like when I would you'd be sitting there, you'd have grown adults want to come sit in your lap, which most are okay, but when it was somebody high as a kite on meth or something, sitting on your lap. Just got it's like, when will this be over? But it's fun. I mean, well worth it to go through any of the little things, or you'd be out and they do the one really early, so it's like before Thanksgiving. It's like the 1st of November or something. And so you have cranky people who are like, we're not Thanksgiving, how can you be out? I'm like, okay, Killjoy. They just have you kind of hover around toys. I'm like, just walk on. Why do you gotta be rude? Or you have somebody bring Santa, you're gonna bring me a fancy car, or you're gonna bring me $1 million. Okay, sure, you got it. But it was what made it worth it doing it was you'd have some little kid that still believed, and they'd Santa, and they're just like, they see you and they're like, and have to come up to you, and a couple of them give you a hug, and just that part. I miss my boy being at that age where he believed in magic still. No, I didn't ever do that taste test. Pies, cakes at fairs. No. Hey. We're going for 10 likes. Don't forget to like. Thumbs up. Going for 10 likes. We did go to my 2 years ago for Christmas, my wife got us, we lived right in, the town we lived in was the state fair grounds, where it's in, the Eastern Idaho State Fair. And it goes for 8 or 9 days, and she bought passes for us all. So we went over on Labor Day and that weekend, and we went 3 days. But we didn't go on any rides, like we normally did, and convinced my boy not to, because I didn't really feel like it. But I remembered we'd done it every year, and fun to go with him on the little ones. And then he'd kind of gotten, the last couple of years, he's too big to go on the little ones. So getting a pass and he won't go on the Ferris wheel, which I love the Ferris wheel. My wife and him are scared of heights, so they won't go on it. He'll go with me on the Tilt-A-Whirl, which is one of my favorites too. So, but I don't think it was last year, and it was 2 years ago. Yeah, because we didn't go last year, so it was 2 years ago. Last year they didn't have the fair was closed. And the passes that we got, so they said they'd be good for this year too. So felt like we had to go use them. puppet show. I don't have a puppet show. There's always a hypnotist, and then they've got it's been they had one where it was like in association with thanks for coming, appreciate it. You're awesome, thank you. Like with SeaWorld, and so they had like sea lions there in a big swimming pool, and this time they had one where it was like a jet thing that the person runs, and it runs water through a thing, a jet pack, and it blows them up in the air. I guess you can do it out on open water, and it's pretty fun, but like you can get one, what do they call it? Anyway, it was cool to watch that. But the seals and I think it was sea lions. It was seals. That show was cool. My boy enjoyed that one. And then they had the pony rides. He loved doing the pony rides where they just go around in a circle. But he hasn't done that for 3 years, I think, now. But I got a bunch of pictures when he was really little, and he loved it. And we'd always dress him up, so he was in his cowboy boots and western shirt and belt buckle and cowboy hat, and go do that. And not to make fun of the workers, so it's a place that sells animals that does it, and they have also, you can feed they have goats and stuff that you can feed. Have a whole thing, goats, and then I think it's like a petting, not like a petting zoo. You can go, they have ones there that they don't sell that you can go pet, but they also sell all kinds of animals out of Pocatello, which is half hour away, and they've done it forever. So they do the horses, and one of the guys that helps with the little ponies, and helps put the kids on and walks the horses around. He has a artificial hand, but it's like the worst artificial hand. Like it's like an inch or so longer, and it's like stiff, and like you can tell that it's wooden. Just something you always remember. I don't mean to make fun of it. It's not, but it's something you always remember. Kind of a distinctive thing. They always have good food, though. I had frog legs. I think I shared a video of that, eating the frog legs, or just a picture of the frog legs. Poor Kermit the Frog. Yeah. I was, we went and visited my in-laws because they live in that town, and after we'd gone the first day, and said I got to eat my frog legs. I'd missed them, not eating them last year, and she was like, "Oh, gross." I'm like, "Really? It really has a taste of like chicken." And my father-in-law said, "Yeah, that's what I've heard." And my mother-in-law said, "Why don't you eat chicken? That's so dumb." Like, because I want to say I've eaten frog legs. The jambalaya was good too. From there, I had that. Oof. Hello, hello. Make sure you leave a like. I am doing good. Great to have you. Connect with all our wonderful people. We're just hanging out, telling stories. What a miss, what a miss. I gotta get some more stickers. Do I only have the one sticker? Oh. 4 more likes. 4 more likes. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry. There we go. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody?